The money in sports. You've been in the world for a long time, seen the rise of money in sports and the rise of financial firms in sports. Is this a good thing in your view?
Well, it's not only a good thing, I think it's an essential thing. Really, when you look at the valuations of franchises today, there's really a smaller and smaller universe of individuals who would either choose to or have the ability to purchase a Major League sports franchise today. So private equity's involvement is going to be something that's going to be absolutely essential going forward.
You know, Rick, when you talk about the future of sports, I do want to get in with you the streaming rights. You know, Dallas Mavericks, they have Mavs Television, and you actually are one of the few that also have a local deal, so you can see all the games here as well. But what do you see as the future of how we watch sports?
Well, it's unfolding right now. The NBA's entering into a brand new set of broadcast agreements for this season. So we're adding Peacock and NBC. We're adding Amazon Prime. And we have to go where our viewers are watching us, right? And especially our younger viewers today who are just accustomed to using streaming as their primary platform in consuming sports.
You know, let's talk a little bit about your viewers and your fans. They had quite a shock last year with the trade of Luka Doncic. You start tonight, you kick off your preseason. Do you feel that you've really managed to bridge that gap with them?
Well, you know, this is my favorite time of year, right? Because there's optimism. As I checked the standings this morning, we're undefeated. We haven't played a game. And every team feels the same way, right? But we had, you know, that trade on February 1st. And then this is such a crazy industry, right? 100 days later on May 12th, with a 1.8% chance of winning the NBA draft lottery, somehow we came away with the #1 pick, and with that, Cooper Flagg. And that's what's starting tonight, a new era of Dallas Mavericks basketball.
You know, when you talk about the finances of sports, last year you did lose some sponsors, and there were some season ticket holders that were, you know, very upset about this trade. But where did you land now?
You know, sports is such a wonderful thing because it can change on a dime, and it did on May 12th with the drafting of Cooper Flagg. You know, the most decorated 18-year-old player in the history of basketball who plays his first game for the Mavericks tonight. And really everything changes. The optimism going into this season changed the business environment completely. We're third in the league in new season ticket sales. We'll finish this year ahead in revenue and season ticket sales, which, you know, I wasn't quite sure was going to happen on February 1st.
So ahead of the year with season ticket sales now, but on the business question and on the sponsors returning to the organization, can you give us some numbers behind sponsorships or how Flagg has affected the way that companies are interested in partnering with the Mavs?
Well, your second point is really spot on because the interest around Cooper Flagg and his potential all-star career in the NBA. But here in Dallas, it's combined with the optimism and energy around building a new arena and entertainment district to replace American Airlines Center, where we played for the past 25 years. So it's a wonderful combination from a business standpoint because we have the optimism of the team, but also a really exciting prospect about what we're going to be building in Dallas, which will be the future of our franchise.
Well, that's where we want to go to in terms of what you are building in terms of a new arena. Mavs lease is up in 2031, Rick. You share an arena with the Dallas Stars, but you've made it clear that the next arena that you have will be a basketball venue. I think the last time that we all caught up with you at Bloomberg, you said you had narrowed it down to several sites. So what can you tell us? Or feel free to announce where you guys are going to do it. We would love to know.
I really wish I could do that. We're hoping by the end of the first quarter of 26 that we're going to have identified a site. Listen, our commitment, we've been very clear. We want to be in the city of Dallas, and the city has been a great partner to this point in helping us identify sites. Not easy to do because we're looking for a minimum of 50 acres to build the arena and an entertainment district. So not a lot of 50-acre parcels that you can even consider in Dallas. But we have narrowed it down, and we're doing our due diligence on those. Very complicated project. These are very complicated things to get done. But again, we're hoping by the end of the first quarter next year to be able to announce where we're going to be.
Of course, the team owners, the Adelson family, they've made no secret they would like to see casino gambling in Texas. You follow the Texas legislature. I follow the Texas legislature. That did not get anywhere this year. Does that affect really the plans and what's going to be next for the stadium?
No, as we look forward, we don't think the prospects for that happening in Texas anytime soon are very likely. So the project that we're going to build has no casino component to it. We're talking about hotels, we're talking about retail, we're talking about restaurants, we're talking about big gathering places and an arena. So there's no casino component.
Something you don't see that often is a team opening their preseason not in their arena. You will be playing tonight in Dickies in Fort Worth, a much smaller arena, and that's really where people will get their first vision of Cooper Flagg. You know, can you talk about that decision and what you're hoping comes out of the evening?
Yeah, well, it was really in COVID when the commitment was made to play this game. The fact that it's going to be Cooper's first game in a Mavericks uniform in our home market, and we think of Dallas-Fort Worth as our home market. I think Fort Worth looks at the Mavericks as their NBA team, so I think it's going to be a super exciting night. It's going to be the first time we'll get to see Cooper, and I think there's a big buzz about that.
I think there's people that are interested in seeing Cooper globally. Speaking of global sports, the World Cup will be holding 9 matches in Dallas. That's the most in any city in North America. You know, what does that do for this city in terms, this whole area, in terms of being branded really a sports town?
I don't think people yet realize the impact this is going to have. This is the whole world is going to be focused on this. And I'm a huge soccer fan, you know, maybe this far behind NBA basketball. I own an ownership interest in a couple soccer clubs. So I think what's going to unfold here is really going to put Dallas on the map as a soccer mecca.